We got a special guest in the studio, Morning Culture.
Yes.
Frank Ski, Jay Nova, and JR.
Yes.
Welcome to our very good friend. This is my brother from another mother.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Will Packer is in the studio.
Hey, Morning Culture. What's up, y'all?
Hey.
Yo, it's my first time on a new show.
There you go, see?
I like it.
This
I
is
like
Jade
it.
Nova.
What's up, Jade?
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, Will
Jade Nova.
Packer.
Is it like you got to say the whole thing?
Yes.
Like Jade Nova.
Yeah,
Got
like
it.
Will Packer.
You have to, well, I mean, technically my first name is Will, but I feel like you are Jade Nova.
Oh, well, I'll take
Yes.
I'll take
I like it. Jade Nova.
Thank you. Thank
Come
you,
into the
Packer.
stage. I like
Yeah,
that.
and this is JR.
What up, JR?
Dap it up.
JR
My guy.
Sport Breed,
Let me
JR.
tell you something. JR Beard is serious over here.
Yeah,
Oh.
right.
It's
He's
way
the guy.
too early in the morning for his beard to be
Oh,
that
so
crispy
silky smooth.
and silky and black.
Letting it shine through. He's letting it sound glow, babe.
Hello.
Yes. Come on, JR. Beautiful.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Okay, stop rubbing it. You're making me uncomfortable. JR over here stroking his beard.
He got a plan.
I'm about to slide away from you, brother. You just
Ladies and gentlemen, he's in the studio because your new movie is coming out this weekend.
I got another one, Frank.
You got another one.
Yes. You know, ATL always comes through strong for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is always one of my big markets, or the biggest, depending. You know what I mean? Atlanta over indexes. That's what they call them when you have like more box office receipts than you got people. Than you should. You should never beat New York or LA, but on Will Packer movies, ATL shows all the way out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come through, ATL.
Well, it's because of this love, though. That's
Yeah.
why I brought y'all donuts, so y'all would keep talking about
Not
it.
just
every week.
donuts.
I brought them Sublime.
Sublime, baby. Those aren't just donuts.
I hear they're some of the best in the city. They
They
wasn't
are the
cheap,
best.
Frank.
I know.
I brought it up to let y'all know I spent a couple dollars.
There you go.
Because I love y'all.
Appreciate it.
But
Take
congratulations,
So-
for real, on the new
Can,
show.
can I tell
Thank
you
you.
something that I love about this is what I do. My secret thing when I go see a Will Packer film.
Yes, sir.
What you be
Especially films that are filmed in Atlanta.
Yeah, okay.
I try to count how many places in the film that I know.
That you know.
Ooh,
Right?
like a Where's Waldo challenge.
Yeah, so when she pulls up to her office,
Yes.
just let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Is that the High Museum Alliance Theater?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yes, see, there you go. Hey.
Come on. You
See?
better spot him out.
See?
He knows. He
All
knows.
right, all right.
And see, we said, and this is what men want. We talking about. I just realized.
Yes.
I don't know if I said the name of the movie.
We get ready
There's
to
people
say it.
out there like, where do I get that on the Fire Stick? Where
What
can I
Men
get the
Want?
bootleg?
No.
What Men Want is the movie, and we actually shot Atlanta for Atlanta. So a lot of times, you know, a lot of people shoot here in Atlanta, and they shoot it for New York or Denver
Right.
or just
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
We actually shot Atlanta for Atlanta. So when you go to the movie, you're gonna see the A represented as the A. Taraji's character is a high-powered sports agent. She works in an all-male sports agency. She's trying to get ahead. The boys are keeping her down. She works right here in the A. She hits ahead, drinks some crazy tea from Erykah Badu, who is like the world's most fun/insane psychic.
Yes.
And she can then hear what men are thinking. That's what happens in the movie. She can hear men's thoughts.
Not a good thing for me.
Okay, we're gonna
Ladies,
take a break
you
and we're
think
gonna
you
talk
want
about that. We're gonna talk about that because that was my favorite part in the film. JR and I were sitting next to each other laughing.
Yeah.
This whole time. We're gonna talk about what it's all about, what men want. Will Packer's our special guest on the Morning
Yes.
Culture. The one and only Will Packer is in our studio.
Yes.
Brand new
Yes.
film,
Morning
What
Culture.
Men Want.
That's
What
right.
Men Want.
Taraji
That's right.
P. Henson is in the film. And let me ask you a question.
Yo.
The dude who's her assistant,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
Who is that?
His name is Josh Brenner, and he's on a show called Silicon Valley.
Oh, I love that show.
show?
I love that show.
He is
dope.
talented.
Yes, yes. So Taraji is like this hard-driving female sports agent, and she thinks to get ahead, she's got to be like tougher than the men,
Right.
You know, harder than the men, more aggressive than the guys. And what happens is that somebody says, you know what? The reason you're not able to sign like the big male athletes is because you don't relate to men very well. And so she's super tough on her assistant, who is played by Josh Brenner, and he's like this funny. I mean, you got to see the movie. Trust me, everything's not in the trailers. There's stuff in the movie that is gonna make you die.
Ooh, I
it's
can't wait.
hilarious. Yeah, it's good.
can't wait.
It's really good.
So let me ask you a question. So What Men Want is loosely based on What Women Want.
That's right.
And then then you have Little coming out very soon, which I'm so excited about, which is loosely based on Big. And I have a question for you, because growing up, I saw those movies, and I didn't realize until now, really as an older individual, that there was no black representation in those films. And I love those films, but I didn't see myself in them.
Right.
So is that your motivation for telling these stories from a black perspective?
I mean, what you just said is really one of my main drivers for being in the industry.
Yeah.
I want us to see ourselves, you know?
Yes.
And that is, I want to make content that's for everybody. And I want to show us as we really are. I want to show us, you know, flawed and imperfect and behaving well and behaving badly and all that stuff. I mean, that's with Girls Trip. The whole point was that, like, that's how women actually go to Essence and act. Like, let's show it. And so throughout the history of movies, you've got all these representations, primarily of white men. You see white men do everything. You know what I mean? Laugh and cry and steal and kill and go to Mars and stay home, like whatever, right? But when you think about black women, black people, brown people, like, there just hasn't had that representation. And so I love the opportunity to tell stories from our perspective, because inevitably they're going to be different. Like, you know, what men want is very different than what women want, because Taraji is through her perspective at the center, which is very, very different than how Mel Gibson's was.
Exactly.
You know? So that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I appreciate it so much. Thank you for what you're doing.
I appreciate it. Well, I can only do it when I get the support.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, we support you.
People have the power. Y'all absolutely do. I'm so appreciative.
And the film had a lot of layers to it. And one of the elements I enjoyed was the fact that you do have a black woman who's in a position of power.
Yeah.
But besides just trying to have a better understanding of what men want, she actually had to deal with and showcase what just women and black women have to deal with in the workplace.
All the challenges.
On a day-to-day basis. Being behind the 8 ball, maybe two times behind the 8 ball.
Just trying to get valued. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's somebody listening right now to V and they cubicle and they mad because they boss is tripping. Their boss named Harvey or Herbert or Barry does not understand how hard they work and what value they bring to their company. Sister, we hear you. We got you. Come have a laugh. But it really is, though. It is about that representation and seeing what it is like. You know what else I love? This is a movie, which you don't have a lot of, where it's centered around a black woman. One singular woman of color is the star of this movie. This is her movie. You don't see that, even in a comedy. Like, you just don't see a movie where it's like
an ensemble cast.
I love that. I mean, last year I did Breaking In with Gab. That was her movie around her. Like, people don't realize, you really don't. We have ensembles. We have, like, the male, female. Like, this is Taraji's movie. I love that.
And this showed a side of Taraji that we normally don't see.
No.
Like, her comedic side?
Yeah.
I'm not used to that with her.
She said,
but she was hella funny.
She's so fun. I know, you know, that's my girl. Like, we've done a few movies together.
Yeah.
And in real life, she is super silly, but has great timing and sarcastic wit. And she's fearless. Like, she doesn't mind looking crazy, being physical as an actress.
I love that.
She was like, well, I'm tired of crying. I'm doing all my roles are dramatic. I got to cry, happy cry, ugly cry, snot cry. Like, give me a role where I don't have to cry for one. I was like, T, I got you. I got something fun for you. She's one to have fun.
My favorite part of the movie is her lovemaking scene.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it there.
That's what men want.
Y'all get ready.
Being in a guy's head.
Could you imagine, ladies, to know what he's thinking while it's going down?
Wait. So what do men want? What do men want?
Frank?
Donuts.
Wait, not Frank.
Beer. Donuts, beer, yes. I love
donuts. And beer.
But you know what? To your point, there was more than one lovemaking scene in there. I don't even know which one you're talking about, because I have one that comes to mind.
I can't say it because I don't want to give it up.
Don't bring your kids to the movie. It's rated R. I will say that. You know, it is. Yeah, it's like Girls Trip. Girls Trip went there. It's rated R. It's definitely for the grown folks.
And I did appreciate the fact that you had a single father who was raising his kid.
A single
that was
black
cool.
dad. That's another thing. Like, here's the thing. Every time I go and I put a movie up on like thousands and thousands of screens around the country, I have a power, and I recognize that. And what it is that you have people that don't look like us who are seeing representations of us through a different lens. You have people that do look like us that are going, you know, I never get to see that. Like, Cosby Show did that back in the day. We got to see, like, you know, a upscale, you know, black family living and professional doing. So So in this movie, Frank is right. There are actually two. There are two black single fathers. Richard Roundtree is the older one because he plays Taraji's dad. He raised her by himself. And then Aldous Hodge, who plays Taraji's love interest, is raising his son alone. And it just is, we don't make a big deal about it. We just put it in there, and they both are like strong representations of single black fathers, which of course they exist, but how often do you see that on the big screen?
Right, and I think it's so dope that you're saying you're not even making a thing of it, because that is the reality sometimes, and when you make it so specific to that, then it becomes about that instead of it just being inclusive.
We're just showing life. That's
dope.
what we're doing. Absolutely.
I love it.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to take one more break.
Okay.
Will, don't go anywhere.
All right.
Because when we come back, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Of how important your historically black college education played into your success.
Come on, Frank.
Can we talk about that for a second when we come back?
Turn the radio up, HBCU.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Our special guest is Will Packer, the new film, What Men Want. We're talking about the film that Will Packer has come out with Taraji P. Henson.
Yes.
What Men Want. Yes. And before the break, Will, I told you I was going to ask you a question.
Yep.
How important is your HBCU education to what you do? You are a very famous filmmaker, producer, documentaries, TV. You've done it all. You are the fabric of the African American culture with your films now. Your films have become fabric in our culture.
Wow, thank you, Frank.
You know, like when your films come on, people just stop and they watch it again and again and again.
That's
you
huge.
Came from HBCU.
All day. FAMU. Just to make it clear. The HBCU, the premier.
Do people look at FAMU like a film school or
No, because there's no film school.
You went to school for engineering, right? Which is so interesting. Sure did.
Yep. And I was down at FAMU, and I hooked up with my guy, Rob Hardy.
Yep.
And he said, I want to be the next Spike Lee or John Singleton. And because, you know, as youth, you aspire to be what you can see. So that's why it's so important what I do, because I hope other kids go, yo, I want to be Will Packer. So he wanted to be a director. We didn't have a film school. We made it happen. Florida State had a film school. They're in the same city right across railroad tracks in Tallahassee. And so we got some film school students from Florida State and made our own little movie at FAMU.
Wow.
Now, Howard, which I have a daughter at Howard right now, they have a film program.
Right.
They've got film writing classes and a subsidiary program over at the AUC. If you go to Clark, you know, I've spoken over there, Morehouse, Spelman. So there's more opportunities for people through the HBCU system. Here's the thing about HBCUs, though, to be honest with you, Frank. It taught me how to be persistent in going after my goals. It taught me how to persevere. It taught me if you can make it at an HBCU. My whole life I had been like the smart black kid in a lot of white in an all white class. You know, I stood out because they would go, oh yeah, you know, William Packer, he's a smart guy. We like him, and I stood out. I was the only black kid in there. I was making straight A's. I went to FAMU. Everybody was smart. I looked like everybody. I had to do something else in order to stand out. I still use that skill set in Hollywood to this day.
You know what's also beautiful about what you said is just the whole concept of if you build it, it will come. Like you created something that wasn't there. And I think that's a testament to a lot of people that if you don't see something and you want an opportunity, sometimes you got to make it yourself. And look, you can become Will Packer.
Yeah, well, in today's environment, it's the democratization of media, right? So what people want, they will have. In other words, you don't necessarily have to have a Will Packer or a big studio or distributor. You can go out and create something and put it on YouTube.
Yep.
And if enough people want to go see it, like, you're winning. You know what I mean? Studios will throw money at you if you're able to create content, a song, a web series, a skit online, whatever it may be. People will, if you can show that you have an audience, you have the ability to accumulate an audience, then there are people that will come and say, allow us to pay you to do that on a bigger level.
Listen up, people.
So right now, you are going to Twitter with the series.
I am. Yo, I got a new digital show. So tomorrow at 4 o'clock, everybody log into Twitter. Follow Power Star Live. I have a weekly show every Wednesday. It's live. I'm scared to death of this because it's live.
Runaway train.
It's like coming up here with y'all. Anything could happen right now. I don't know what. I've got a good career. I hope I don't mess it up. But basically, what it's going to do is going to take all the top things that happen in black social media and put it all in one place.
Wow.
So it's a cool live streaming show. It's going to be on Twitter. We're going to take the power of black Twitter, everything that you love and hate about that medium, the force and the power of what black Twitter is, and we're going to recap it every week live, shooting straight from the A at 4 o'clock.
I got one more question.
Talk to me.
What was the thought process behind buying Nicole Bitchie's website?
Yeah.
That is now, what is it?
Exo Nicole.
Yep.
So you bought that?
I did.
So you bought somebody's cultural, social
platform.
That's correct. Why did you do it?
To give it a larger reach and to expand it. You know, Russell Simmons said something to me because I actually bought a branded content agency from him called Narrative, and he said very rarely do we as black people buy companies from other black people. We're always waiting for somebody non-black to come in and buy it.
Well,
and I bought something from him, and he was like, "This is huge for this reason." And then I knew XO Nicole was out there, and she speaks to urban millennial women.
Yeah, I used to watch it.
And I wanted, and she used to be Nicole Bitchy and did a lot of gospel stuff. Now she does more aspirational, uplifting stuff. And I felt like with me behind her and my brand and my platform, we could just elevate her. So first of all, I'm in the business of supporting black women. You know, black women support me and go see all my movies. I have to come and give that back, right? And so she's got a platform that I knew could use some uplift and some elevating. So we're going to augment that. We're in the process of doing that now. You're going to be seeing a lot more coming from XO Nicole. But that's part of my purpose.
Man, you can make a movie every week off that content.
Yo, come on. Urban millennial women.
Yes. We're a thing.
Would you advise folks who want to get into whether it's producing or be in front of the camera, would you advise them to start off on digital? Just
start where you can. Don't let anything stop you. You know what I mean? You got a smartphone in your pocket, you got a camera and editing software walking around with you every day. It's up to you how you use it. So a lot of people say, boy, when I raise this amount of money, you know, when I get to X number of dollars, I'm gonna go do my first movie. I'm gonna go. No, what can you do with what you have right now? You know what I mean? What you spending on sneaks, you know what I mean, once a month. Save that money up. 3 months later, how much you got saved? $1,000? Fine. Let's go make this $1,000 movie or short or series or whatever. Just use what you have now. There are no excuses anymore.
You got me out here feeling like I could do all the things.
Come on, Jay. No,
that's Will Packer, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo,
the film,
culture.
What Men Want.
Friday
in theaters.
We'll be there.
Tickets on sale now.
Will Packer, thank you, bro.
Come on, man.
Always, bro.
Frank, I love you, dog.
Thank you more, man.
Nina, appreciate you. Jay, Nova, JR,
thank you so much.
It's the Morning Culture on the People's Station V103.